This is Standing Watch. And now, Evangelist Norbert Link.
Greetings, everyone, and welcome back to our Standing Watch program. Will there be war between Russia and Germany? Especially in Germany, people are concerned, thinking and hoping that it won't come to that. Well, it's not going to happen now. And there are reasons for that, because the Bible tells you that other events will have to take place first. In that regard, I like to begin with an article which was published by The Telegraph, dated December 1, having this to say: the European Union should become a single mega-state, as it is not working in its current form, according to Mario Draghi, who led the European Central Bank and served as Italy's prime minister during the pandemic. It made no sense, the former premier said, to have 27 separate national armed forces and 27 separate drug control agencies. Mr. Draghi has hopes of becoming the next president of the European Council. By expanding the European Union to 28 members, that was prior to Brexit, we made a colossal error to think that it could work with the rules that were put in place when there were just 12 members, Mr. Draghi said in a speech in Rome. For the EU to have a future, it should become a state, Mr. Draghi said. The former Prime Minister compared the EU in its current state unfavorably with ancient Rome, lamenting that it had no common foreign policy or single army. He criticized the bloc for not being engaged enough in the Israel-Gaza crisis, saying it needs to do more. The European market is too small, he said, adding that European companies often sell up or move to the US once they become successful. So far the article, which is very interesting in light of the fact that he compared the current EU with ancient Rome, because the United States of Europe, when it has finally come together, is going to be the 10th revival of the ancient Roman Empire. But it's not going to be all of those 27 member states. It's going to be 10 nations, or core group of nations. 10 nations, which are going to comprise the 10th revival of the ancient Roman Empire. We have a free booklet prepared, the 10 European revivals of the ancient Roman Empire, which tells you a lot more about history and how these revivals took place in the past and what is prophesied for the final one, which is coming together as we speak. And only after that has occurred, yes, war will break out between Russia and Germany and Europe. And in this regard, I'd like to read to you from an article which Die Welt published on December 6. It says, because the West is hesitating, time is working for Vladimir Putin in Ukraine. And that is just the beginning, with consequences for Germany that no one can imagine. Among those who are still interested in the Ukraine war, there are two camps: those who believe in a victory for Kiev and those who dream of negotiations with Russia. But on the front, Ukraine is at a dead end, and Putin has no reason to negotiate because time is working for him. Support for Kiev is dwindling in the United States, and the prospect of a new Trump presidency is becoming more real on the horizon. And of course, Mr. Trump has said that he's not going to continue supporting Ukraine financially and militarily. The article continues. Putin, for his part, has staying power. and allies. The Emirates and Saudi Arabia are among 6 states that will soon join the BRICS alliance, which so far includes Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. The alliance is united by one goal in terms of power politics: the end of the supremacy of the West. With its imperialist drive, Russia is only the tip of the spear, but has the tacit approval of many states as long as it does not disturb their circles. For Putin, the military problems in Ukraine were just a setback on a path that he is continuing undeterred. His goal remains the conquest of the entire Ukraine. Now listen to this statement. Secret services assume that Russia would need 6 years after the war to arm itself for an attack on NATO territory, if NATO still exists. While Putin is investing huge sums of money in his army, the Federal Republic's enthusiasm for armaments has already dried up. Germany is risking what hardly anyone in this country can or wants to think at the moment, that war will come to our country one day, not far away. And yes, according to the Bible, war will come. And that day isn't that far away anymore. The Bible tells you that about 2.5 years after the Great Tribulation has started, war will break out between Russia and their Far Eastern allies on the one hand, and Germany and Europe on the other hand. And it will be a devastating war. And if you think in terms of 6 years, what they have been talking about, that day is not going to be that far away. We have prepared a free booklet, The Rise and Fall of Germany and Europe, which goes into these biblical prophecies in great detail. So please ask for both booklets, and until next time, this is Norbert Link for the Standing Watch program.
Standing Watch is a presentation by The Church of the Eternal God, P.O. Box 270519, San Diego, California 92198. More information is also available at our website, eternalgod.org.